Hello and welcome to day 26 of this shift taking application. In our last video, we were looking at shift detail page, and now we are on the stages of wrapping up this project. We are also going to look at other things like Redux Toolkit and how the user or the staff will log in into our application. After that, now what we'll be able to do is now we are going to just merge every episode in this project, and then it will be just one long video. So in this part here, I just want us also to push our code to our GitHub, just the way we are doing in every part of this or in every episode of this project. So first of all, what I'll do is that I'll clear here, and then I'll just check my branch again, because this is something that I'm doing in every episode, so I'm not going to repeat it. So this is integration, so let me git add here like that. I'm going to commit here also, so git commit, and then let's say something like started integrating with a front end with front end, like that. That is just a comment. And then this one I have misspelled, so this is a front end here. And then now what I can be able to do is now I'll be able to push. So here, this is not origin, this is integration branch, so I'm going to do this like that. So this is integration, so let me push. So actually I don't know where the problem is. Actually I have not added origin, so git push origin and then integration here, so that you'll be able to push. So let us push our code to our GitHub. So this is a project, or this stage I'm doing in every video. So if you are not understanding, just go in the previous videos and you'll be able to see what I mean here when I'm saying that I'm pushing the integration branch. So here I'm going to visit my GitHub here, so that you can be able to see how to pull and pull request and merge, because this is something that you need to know when you want to be a developer. So let me go to the repository here, and let me click here repository. It is taking time, so I think let us give it time. So I think my computer is slow, or maybe my internet is a bit slow. So let me click it again, or let me reload again here. So this is a repos here. I want to visit this repo that we are calling YouTube shift taking application here. So let me click at it. So I'm going to click it, and I'm noticing my internet is a bit slow. So after that, now you'll be able to see this notification here of pull request, compare and pull request. So I'm going to click it to compare and pull request. So it will be compare and pull request, and then I'm going to merge. So create pull request here, and also we'll be able to merge. So let me see the merging option here. So it's checking for compatibility. So that is finished. So merge pull request here, and then confirm merge. So we are merging our branches. So that is it. So let's go back into application. So we were in this branch, and what we are going to do is that also I'm going to create the functionality here for adding the case notes here, and also I'm going to create a button here for bidding. So if this shift is not assigned to anybody, then it means that here we'll be having that button here for bidding. So, and also I'm going to hide this button for clock in and clock out. If, for example, someone has already clocked in, there's no need for showing this button for clocking in, and if that already somebody has clock out, there's no need to show this clock out page or this button. So what I'll do is that let me first of all create other variables here. So I'm going to create variables. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to create several variables. The first variable that I'm going to create here, so let me just come here, and I'm going to create another variable here. This variable, we are going to call it event. So this is event, and then we'll be having set event like that, and this one also will be use state. So use state here, like that. But then here I'm going to give it 0 like that. Actually it is not 0, empty text here. So the other thing that I'm going to create is a variable for the notes. So because we have events and notes, so that we can be able to push our case notes to our database. So this is set notes like that, set notes. And then here I'm going also to use state like that. And then this is an empty string. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable that we are calling distance. So this is a distance here. So this is distance, and then set distance like that. And then here we have use state like that. And then just like that. Then I think we have these three here. We have these three variables. This I wanted to have these three variables because also we are going to collect like information for our distance if we want to update distance. And also now I can be able to add those functionality down here. So we are going to start with functionality also for making sure that we are pushing our, or we are adding case note to our shift. So those are like the shift that also you make when you want to just add anything to your shift, like what happened that day. So I'm going to call this function handle case notes or something, or add notes, handle add notes here. So this will be an arrow function here like that. And in here I'm going to first of all make this async, because here we are going to push our request to our backend. So actually I think I would have done it at let me show you. So I think I could have done it around here, because those are clock in and clock out. Then here I'm going to start now how to show you how to push our data to our backend. So the first thing that I'm going to do is that, let me first of all also close the notification here. So I'm going to have a try catch here. So let me do try catch, or what else that I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a variable inside here that is called now, and this will be taking the time that we are adding this shift. So because I want to take the time and the date that we are adding this case notes, so like that. And then that is the date. We have also to here we have set time. So we have set time like that. And here I'm going to now use now dot to local to okay to local date, or to local string. This one here will give us, we will be able to take time and dates that we are pushing this, or which we want to push this here. This is actually time, not timeout. So I'm going to also create a variable here that we are calling time. So we have current time that we are taking when we want to push our, let's say our clock in coordinates information. But right now I'm going to add another one here. This one will be time. So this is time, and then set time here. And then here we are going to use state like that. And then here I'm going to give it a variable of null. And then let us go down here also. So we have here this function that we are creating. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going now to create try if, but before that I'm going to check if we have time. So if we have time, if we have also like let's call it event like that, and also if we having like notes, I'm going to show you how to do that. So here what I'm going to do is that I'm going now to do like try catch, because I want to push my code to backend. So I'm going to add a wait, and then public request, and then post here. you have our put. Let me use put because it's just updating. And then here I'm going to use backtick. First, the route that we are going to push our code or our data to is shifts. And then here we have case notes or case note. This is the route. And then here also I'm going to just use the ID to be able to update our data. So this is shift and then ID like that. And then the other thing is here I'm going now to send my data. So the data is event. We are going to send notes, and then here I'm going to also send time. So because when we are in our backend, we need to these three things when we want to push our data to update on the data that we have in our case note. So that is related to this shift. So you can be able to see, because we want to update this shift, we need to also make sure that we are also using the shift ID so that we can be able to update the data for that case note for that particular shift. So I think you understand, but if you don't understand, I'm adding the link of this GitHub, of my GitHub, and for this repo also, so that you can be able to see what we did. So now what I can do is that I want also to clear now the event. So set event to now empty text here. And also I want to set, let me set here. I'm going to set, let me set here event. So not event, like notes. So set notes here. Also to empty text. The other thing that I want to do is that after all this, we need to do window and then dot location and then dot reload, because this is how we know we have successfully added the case notes to our shift. So here I'm just going to console log. So console log my error like that. And then also here, I think that's okay now. I don't have to do anything else here. But now what I'll do is that I'm going to take now the data from this here. You can see this input here and this text area here, or these two inputs. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to scroll down until we get to case notes. So where is the case notes? So we have the label here. So what I'll do is that here I can use now on change. So on change, and then here I can use E or event, and then I can set this to set event. So this is set event. So I'm going to correct the information here. So E dot target like that, dot value like that, also this one. And then also I'm going to copy this and I'm going to use it in our text area here. But we are going to change on various parts. Like here we need now to change this to notes, because here is the where we are getting the notes. So using this now we can be able to correct the information in this input here that we are calling case, of which we are setting it to event, and here that is called notes, which we are setting it to notes here. The other thing is now we can be able also to use on click here to submit. So this is on click here, and I'm going to add handle add notes like that. And then the other thing also I can do is to come down here and on click I can add another here this event. So this one I'm going to add handle clock in, and then this one also here is on click, but this time I'm going to handle clock out. So this one here like that. So that is it. I think that's okay. Now let's go up here. We are going to test this application, so don't worry, we are going to do that. So the other thing that I'm going to do is to handle the bidding. So I'll do that, but before that also I'm going to create another function here that we are calling show status, because I need to know how I'll be showing the status. So I'm going to add show status, here so that somebody can identify the status of the shift. So here, so show status, and then this one we are going to add like clock in, clock out, like that. And then this is a function here now, and this function now we are going to use if else. So if, let's start with this, the first condition. So if clock in, so you can see clock in here, dot now the length. So because this is just this is a array, that is, so I'm going also to do that to make sure that it is not null. So if it's 0, like that, and also clock out its length, like that. And also this one, I'm going to use this question mark here to make sure it is not undefined, or to check for undefined. So if that, then here I'm going to return. So return here. So we are going to return, let's say here we are going to return this is pending, because remember, if somebody has not clocked in, that means that array is empty, and also that clock out is empty, that array, then it means that is pending. So else if here, else if, so here this is another condition. So here we are going to check other condition. So the first condition also is if clock in here, and then I'm going to use this question mark dot length here is greater than, so it's greater than 0, and also clock out dot, I'm going to use question mark dot length here is greater than 0 here, then it means we are going to return here. So let us return here something else. So here I'm going to return is ongoing, meaning somebody was able to, you can see here, meaning that this person has already clocked in but has not clocked out. So that means that this is ongoing. So the other thing is now else we are not going to check anything. That means by default this is completed. So return completed, like that. So you can see how we use it. We'll use this now, this function here where we are checking for status. So let me scroll down here, and here we can be able now to use this and to show here the status. So I'm going to use show status here, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going now to send shift dot clock in here, like that. And then also I'm going to do shift dot clock out, like that. You can be able to see how it looks. So that is it, and let me save this. So I don't know where I'm getting the error. So the error we are having here, so let me scroll up here and see if we have error. Actually we don't have error. So the other thing that I need to do is to actually make sure that I get this information here for distance. But before that I need to check if our application is broken. But it is not broken. Actually you can see this one is saying it is completed, but we are going to fix that. So then the other thing that I want to do here is to make sure that we have this here distance. So I'm going to scroll down here until where we have the distance. So let me check for distance here. We are having distance. So here I'm going to use this input here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do on change event, and in here I'll be able to use the target. So set now the distance. So you can see the distance. Then again here we have e.target.value. And because also this is a number, what I'll do is to make sure that the stuff is just using the number. Actually, I have already done that. That's why you can see the input type here is number. So I think that is it. So the other thing that I want to do is now update the distance. So what I'll do here is, let me come here. So the other thing that I need to do is to update the distance. So I'm going to add here const, and then handle. I'm going to handle update distance, like that. And then here we are having this as a sync function, like that. And then this one will have an e here. So this one also, we are going to e.prevent default. Remember, others we have not done that. So e.prevent that, because already in the others we are going to reload. So e.prevent default here. So handle update distance. Also here I'm going to do try catch. So try catch here, I'm going to await, and then public request. So public request here, then this is a put event or update event or request. So we are going to use shifts, and then here I'm going also to take like a shift ID also. We are going to use shift ID, and then the other thing here that we are going to do is to push now a distance. So we have our distance here. So because that is the only thing that we need to push to this route here that we are calling shift and then ID, and then this is updating. So that is to update the shift. So the other thing that I can do here is to console log, and then this is, I'm going to console log error here. So let me also use this handle update here, update password. So I'm going to copy this, and then can copy this. I'm going to distance. So this is the distance. So here I'm going to use on click here, like that. So let me paste it down there, and then that's okay. So then I can update here also format, like that. So the other thing that I'm going to do now is to make sure that I loop now. I'm going to loop and display this information. So let me see how I can do this. So I'm going to cut this like that, and then what I can do here is I'm going to use shift. So this is shift, and then dot, now the case notes. So remember, we have case notes in our in this shift. So dot, and actually here I can use this map dot map. So dot map here, and then here I can be able now to use this. You can see this one here, these are looping, because remember case notes is just array also inside the shift. And then here I can be able now to loop. So I'm going to paste this, and here I can be able now to use, or to, I'm going to use this and then show the time. So this is let me add here. So this is time. So this one should be let me add here as a event, like that, and then index. So that in event and then index. Here we are going to use actually the, let me use key here. So key, and then this is index. So the other thing that I'm going to show here is now event dot time. Remember that we are collecting also time before we push the case note to our backend. So here also we need to have event. So this is event dot event, actually event dot event, and also here you can add to be note. So here also we have notes now. So this one will be, let me add as event dot notes, like that. So that is it, and now let us now save that. Let's see if we have any error. So yeah, I don't know why we are having like this part here, we are not having any case notes, but we are going to look at what the problem is also. So that is it. I want also to create a function for bidding. So we need to, let us create a button for bidding first of all. So I'm going to scroll down here, and after this, now what we are calling distance update, here we are having a button, or even before it we can have here, above here we can have another button. So this button here, we are going to give it a class name of bid, and then here I'm going to also call it bid, like that. So if we check this, and then it will not be, it will just be a button like that, but I'm going to just style it, and let me actually I can use class name here for this button, for this one here, for bidding or for updating distance. So I'm going to use just this because I don't want to start styling it. So I'm going to add it here like that. So if I do this, you'll be able to see that it will be styled. So I cannot be able to see why it is not styled. So let me reload this. So after reloading, actually we cannot be able to see like it has not been updated or styled. So I think I'm having like a problem, or actually it is this update distance, not distance update. So let me copy. So I think this is where I've done the error. So this is update distance. So if I just update here, let me see if this will give us like update. I think this is not taking effect. So I'm going to just say update bid here, just like that. Let me also copy this. I think so. So I think this will help us. So I think here, so I'm going to say background color here to be, let's say here we have this color here, and then also I'm going to add color to be white or white smoke, like that. Also border none, like that. So the other thing that we need, let's see here. So let me also see if the changes are taking effect. So if I reload also, yeah, it is not taking any effect. I don't know why. So I think I have let me check if I have already added the CSS up here. So do I have CSS here? Yes. So actually I think it's because it is not saved, that I think that is the problem. So now I'm not able to see it. I think I know why. So I think I used like the same color so that we are using in our background. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going also to paste this here, background color, let it will be different. So this is cursor pointer, like that. And then after that, now let's see, yeah, you can see now we are having like this button style. So the other thing that I will be able to do is I'm going to add width to be 150 pixels, and then padding here should be 10 pixels, like that. And then cursor will be cursor pointer, like that. So let's see, yeah, you can see we are able to have this button. But also I'm going to come here, let me see that button here. So where is this button for bidding? So this button here, we are having it here. We only need to show it when this shift is for bidding. So I'm going to check, so shift dot staff email here, then that means when we have that staff email, that means that already this shift has been assigned. Then we are not going to show anything, but if we don't have, then we can show that button, like that. and here we can try and see how it looks. So yeah, you can be able to see, because this already it is assigned, then it means that we cannot be able to see that. But when we, let me go back here, let me scroll. Actually, I cannot be able to see the staffs side. I don't know why. So I'm going to look at that later on. I don't know why I'm not able to see the staff side. So let me also do the other thing, which is to create a function that we are calling handle bid. So before that, I'm going to use it here. So on click, and then after you click, then you'll be able to bid this shift. So handle bid, like that. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create that function up here. So let me scroll up until here. So I'm going to create this function here, like that. So this is an arrow function. Going to do, actually, because I'm going to reload, I'm not going to need that. So let me create the function here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is try catch here. So the other thing that I'm going to do this is I'm going to await, and then I'm going to do public request. So this is a public request, and then dot update. So then we have to see the route. So I'm going to use backtick. So this is the route where we have shifts, and then assign, like that. And then I'm going also to use like a shift ID. So this is let me come here. So we have this shift ID, that one, and then I'm going to have now the data here. So we are going to send the data. So we are going to send almost every data here, because I want, when you bid, also you'll be sent an email. So this is shift dot location, like that. Also, the other thing that we can send is date. So we are going to, because these ones are also be able to be used in our email. So this is time also. So we can have, actually this is date. So this is date. Also we need to have time. So here I'm going to add time, and I'm going to use shift dot time. Here the other thing is I'm going to have type, and then here the type will be also shift dot type, like that. So the other thing is duration. I'm going to have shift dot duration, like that. So the other thing is also we are going to have staff email. So staff email, like that. So this one, staff email, will be, now we are going to hard code it because we have not logged in. So I'm going to use alloc mondala email, like 199@gmail.com, like that. So then the other thing is we also need client here. So here we need to use shift dot client, and then the other thing is need to have notes, and then yeah, it will be shift dot notes, yeah, like that. So we have completed that. This one should be async, like that. And then now the other thing that I need to do is to console log here, console log, and the error, like that. So this is consoling the error. And then the other thing here I can do is I want us to reload this window. So I'm going to do window. So window dot location dot reload, like that. And then this one will be able to reload here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to use it in clock in and clock out. So this is clocking in here. So I'm going to use it when we are clocking in. After successful clocking in, then I'm going to use it there. And then also here, we have it here also. So like that. So that is it. And again, now we can move ahead to logging. So for logging, we are going to use a Redux toolkit or Redux. So let me come here and show you like a documentation. So Redux toolkit here, I'm going to use this one. Actually persisting, we are going to persist so that we can update or we can just persist, we can be able to persist our user so that even if they log out or even if they close the window of our application, when they just come again or they come back into the application, they won't be asked to log in again. The other thing also with that is that also we need to make sure that also when they reload the window, they are not logged out, because it can happen like that. So you can see this is the user guide that I'm going to use because I want to actually persist. So I'm going to use this Redux toolkit, and the other thing is also I'm going to use this Redux persist here. So let me install those packages. So I'm going back here into my code, and then I'm going to look for this shell that is, or this terminal that is that doesn't have anything that is happening. So this is for front end. Then I'm going to do npm. Already I know the packages that I will need. I will need first of all this package and Redux toolkit here. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to add here. So npm install this one, and then I'm going to also add this one that we are calling Redux toolkit or Redux here, React Redux. So then also here we need to add it here, and then the other one is persist because we want to persist. And Redux toolkit and persist uses local storage and don't want to use local storage direct, because that is not the right way of using persisting or persisting our user. So I'm going to add here also like that. So Redux, let us install now. So these packages now will be installed, and before that also, or we can just check on how we are able to use Redux and Redux toolkit. So you can see how you can configure it here, but I just want to show you how you can be able to do this practically. So the first thing you need to do is to create also like a store, and then we'll have to have like a user Redux. So in my code, so let me come back into my code. I have already installed these packages, so that's okay. So I'm going to push this down here. So I'm going also to check in my package.json here to check where my packages are. So this is, let me scroll up here. So actually here, so you can see we have Redux toolkit here, we have React Redux, and then React persist here. So what I'm going to do is that first of all, I'm going to create a folder here for the source. So here I'm going to create another, inside this source, I'm going to create another folder that we are going to call Redux, like that, and this is where we are going to do all our Redux. So inside here in our Redux, we are going to create another file here that we are going to call Redux user, or we can call it user Redux. So let's call it user Redux that.js, and then here can do that, and then here we need to do several stuff. First of all is to create a slice. So let us first of all import slice. So this is, let me import from, I'm going to import here and Redux from Redux toolkit, like that. So here I'm going to import, let me import create slice. So create slice. So slice, you can be able to see this function here, create slice. and here now I can be able now to create that slice. So I'm going to create a slice. So this is called user slice, like that, and then I'm going to use this function by now create slice, that is. So create slice, and then here I'm going to have like a function, and this function will take this object here. So the first thing that we need is to create an initial state of our slice. So I'm going to create the name here, and then the name of this will be, now we'll be having, we call it user, like that, because this is how we'll be able to select this slice, because in state management of Redux, you'll be able to use slices to be able to identify which slice that you want. If you know how Redux work, this also will be simple to you. So inside here also, I need to create initial state. You can be able to see the initial state here, and then this one I'm going to add like initial state for application. So the first thing that I'm going to have here is the current user, and then the current user first of all will be null at start, and also we are going to have is fetching to be also false, because that is a boolean. The other thing is error. We are going to check for error. To start with, it will be false. So I want to create other state now, and the other thing that we are going to create actually is not state. We are going to create reduxes. So here we have reduxes. So you can see reduxes. So this one also is another object inside here. So we are going to create the first state here now, the login start, like that. And this here, we are going to take the state. So the state here, and then let me first of all add this. So we are going to have login here, login start. So let me copy this, and let me also add another one here. This one will be login success, like that, and then this one, this will take state and then action, like that, and then this is a function, and then we're having login failure. So this is login failure here, like that. So login failure. So this is login failure, and then state. So we having failure here, then this is state. So I'm going to have failure here. So then the other thing is also we need to have logout. So this is a logout here, and then this logout, we are going to create a state, and then this state here. So let me create now the things inside here now. So the first, by logging state here, we need to first of all make sure that the state dot is fetching, it will be now true, because it is fetching now the data from our backend. Here in our success, what we'll have to do is now, because we need to do state dot is fetching, and then we are going to set it to false because we have finished fetching. So here also I need to do state dot now current user, like that. We are going to set it to action dot payload, because remember this action will come with a payload, which is our data, the data of our user. So the other thing is state dot error here, and we are going to set it to false because this has been successful. So I'm going to copy these ones here, and I'm going to use it in login failure. So I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to remove this, but then this one now will be like, this one will be opposite, because remember now if it has failed, then this is true, and we can use this to know if login has failed. So this is login state here. Also we need to make sure that we have pasted this, and the other thing that we need to do is to make sure that if we log out, the first thing that we need to do, of course, here fetching is false, and then here the other thing, I'm going to remove this, or we can just leave it like that, but the current user here will be none here because we have logged out, so we will not have like a current user. So yeah, so that is it for here. Now we need to export these functions here, so I'm going to export now. So let me export here. I'm going to const here, export const, and then here we are going to export login failure like that. Login, also login, we are going to login failure, login start, and then login success here, and then this one here we are going to make sure, actually here we need to make sure that we have like this one should be from use state or use slice dot actions dot action like that. So if you need to know if you have done it right, you can be able to see like if you have auto completion, so you can see here login failure like that. So the other thing that I need to do is also here, let me add this comma here, or this semicolon. So here I need now to export. So export default, and I'm going to export user slice here dot reducer now. So like that. So that is it. So here now you can see how it is easy to create now user slice. So I'm going also to format this. So the other thing that I need to create, if you have worked with Redux, is the store. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a store. So create a store here .js, and inside here now we need to create our store, and that I'm going to just paste my code because there's no need for creating all this. This is something that is self-explanatory. I'm going to explain it. So I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to paste it here like that. So the first thing that you need to do is you can be able to import now configure store here from Redux.js here toolkit. And then the other thing is now you can be able to import this, because also we want to persist. You can be able to import all this from persisting. So we import also the storage here. And remember I said that we are using like local storage. So the other thing that we need also to do here is also persist here to configure this persist. And you can be able to see the key here. We have given the root, the version here is 1, and then the storage. And then here also we need to have persist reducer. And then this persist reducer here, we give it persist config and user reducer. And then this is now the reducer or the slice that we have created, remember, because if you check here you can be able to see this one, the user reducer that we have imported there. So the other thing is here we need to configure now our store. So export the store, we have the reducer here, but now we are using persisted reducer, which we have created here. We have created this from now persist config and user reducer here. So now we use this middleware here. You can be able to see how we use middleware here, and then this is just a default. So I don't actually know how, what it means, but have taken it from documentation. So then the other thing is now to export. So export the persister here, and then we give it the store. So after you have configured that, I have given it this store after we have configured it. So the other thing that I need to do now is API calls, and since here we are going to use we are going to log in, so I'm going to call this API calls.js like that. And then now here we will be able now to make our API calls to our backend. So here we are going to log in. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to import. So let me import public request. So public request, you can be able to see that. The other thing that I want to import here now is I'm going to import login success, login failure, yeah, success, and then login start. So this is login success, so all those, and then now here, then we can be able now to use them. So I'm going to export this. So let me use small letters, export const, and then login. Yeah, so this one we are going to use async because this will be async function. So I'm going to use dispatch here. So this one is dispatching the action. So this is dispatch, I think I've not misspelled, and then here the user, like that. So we are sending dispatch action and then the user here, and this is to be able to dispatch the action. So here now inside, what I'm going to do is that first of all I'm going to dispatch the action of login start here, so like that, and then I'm going to try catch now, like that. So here I'm going to use const res, and then I'm going to use await now public request dot post, and now we are going to post our staff ID and our login password. So this is auth, and then here is login, and then this one we are going to send. Actually here I need to have this forward slash, then here we are going to send the user. So the other thing is now we need to dispatch also the dispatch. We are going to dispatch another function here, and this one is login success because already we have done the login success now. So login success, and then we are going to send now res.data, like that. So you can be able to see it here. So here I'm just going to dispatch now like a failed login failure, because that means we have error. So login failure there. So we are going to just add here, or we can just leave it like that because it doesn't need any argument. So after this, now we have created now the API call part here. We have created our store and a user reducer. So let me just save this. So I'm going to create in future, I'm going to create a tutorial for using Redux. So I'm going to use that so that I can handle. For now, if you are not understanding, have a GitHub link in the description of this video. You can just copy and then try and see if you understand. If you want to understand, then I'm going to create video for like this part, or this Redux and Redux Toolkit, persisting, all those. So the other thing that I need to do now. So after this, now there's only one step that has been left so that we can be able to use our Redux and also be able to do state management, because remember this is a global state management. So we are going to go into this main here, and what I'll do is that I'm going to import here. I'm going to import store here and persister. So persister. So let me first of all, for auto completion, let me first of all just make sure that I'm importing it from reducer. So let me see, from now I'm going to import it from Redux and then from the store now. So you can see it here. So I'm going to import the store. So let me import the store and then persister. So those two, and then I'm going to wrap my whole application here. So I'm going to remove this like that. So let me remove this, and here I'm going to first of all use provider, and a provider, let me first of all import now provider also. So we have provider, so import provider, so provider, so let me import provider here, and then provider will be from now will be from React Redux. So React Redux here like that, and then we are going to use this provider, and also we are going to import persist git. So let me import here. So I'm going to import persist git. You can be able to see persist git here. So I'm going to import it from Redux persist integration, and then here also the React. So let me just come down here, and then I'm going to use provider. So provider here, you can be able to use provider. So actually this one I need to have these tags, and here I need to have like a store. So you can see the store here, need to add store that we have imported from our user Redux. Also inside here we need to use persist get. So persist get here like that, and inside here we need first of all to give it loading of null, and then also we can give it like a persist get persister, or persister here to be also persister like that. And then we need to have now our application inside here. So I can paste this here. I will remove this React restrict mode, so like that now. So I think I have this one. I'm going to remove this because we are not using it. So like that now. So I think now we have done like the major part. So in the next video now we are going to look at how we can be able to log in easily into our application. So let me format this here. Remember, we are now in the final stages of creating this application. So in the next video we'll be able to log in, and also to reset our password and update our password. So that is it. I don't want to take a lot of time in this video so that it won't be that long. So let's end our video here. Remember to subscribe and like.